Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it's a
How are
great
you
day.
doing?
I'm doing well, Rotus, even though we know that you've started a movement right now. Hashtag, I spent 50K on my SUV. Hashtag, should we get Rotus and EV? Probably let's tag Elon Musk. Let's tag Elon Musk and Tesla. Who knows? They may reach out and just switch that your SUV for an EV.
Where will I charge it? Where will I charge it?
Oh, sorry. Let's move on. Rotus, the items on the agenda this morning very interesting, so we must go rapidly into it. So first, you can be part of the conversation at any point you feel like. WhatsApp messages on 0809-444-0981. Rotus, what to expect from Dr. Bosun Tijani, who is Nigeria's new Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, the new Pantami you want to say?
Yes. So let's do it as quickly as possible. Fisayo, Iran CC hub, what do you expect from him? Sharp.
I don't know really, because politics is a different, kettle of fish. It's a different ball game, right? It's someone we know, it's someone we trust, it's someone that the tech ecosystem is excited about. But he doesn't have absolute power. It can't function unilaterally. So it's still within a wider government. He has to work with the civil service. He has to. I mean, there's so many things that are outside of his control. Right? Why we're excited about him as a person, because again, is more like is a candidate of the tech community, as it were, right? The challenge is that is operating within the Nigerian context, right? So I don't know. I mean, the last minister had a big personality, and it showed in how he operated. He seemed to even carry his influence outside of his own particular ministry, right? So again, I don't know if Bosun has that kind of personality, and of course he has not worked in government before. So again, I'm cautious, about what to expect from him, because again, it's not all within his control. So I guess it's just, we just have to wait and see, what that will look like eventually.
Good point. You on that? Let's jump to Obiozo, Cover 360 CEO. Yeah. He has been named the Transport Commissioner for Enugu State.
Yeah. So again, I wonder exactly what Transport Commissioner does, right? It's not that role is not particularly clear. Are you in charge of the garages? Are you in charge of the motor park? Are you in charge of the agberos? I don't know exactly what you do, because again, while transport is important, right? Road construction is not within your purview, because there's a commissioner for works that does that, right? That handles all of the infrastructure around that. And of course, I don't think that Enugu is in a place, or if it's Lagos, I could say yes, maybe they are looking at alternative, transports, say rail or other things that can intrastate, that can fall within the purview of the Commissioner for Transport. But again, I don't think that it's wise investment for a state like Enugu. I'm not sure how much traffic they deal with.
Yeah. The governor says he wants to attract investment, though. He said he wants to attract investments into the sector. So maybe Obi can bring that in.
Rotus, everybody wants to attract investment into Nigeria and into different places, right? You know where the investments are going to. They go to Lagos first, and then we figure out which other state is serious that investment can go into. So again, attract investment to transport sector in Enugu State. What kind of investment are you thinking about? Are you talking about maybe another assembly plant? Are you talking about another Peace Mass Transit? Again, it's not clear exactly what that role will be. Again, for Obi to have chosen to leave his Cover 360 and focus on that, maybe there is something more that we are not seeing, right? So again, it's I just wish him well. Himself and Bosun, because I think both of them are, it's one of those things that you say, like, you said we should put young people there. You said we should put technocrats or people that have operated these things before. If they fail, that argument runs foul, because we've tried young people, we've put in people that are competent, and still nothing changed, as it were, right? So it's my hope and wish that they succeed. they do extremely better than maybe their colleagues as it were. But because if they don't, it affects every one of us, right? So I'm just open. Yeah, they do well. Yeah.
Well, this leads us to our next item. The CBN introduces an FX price verification system portal for importers. How would this help us stabilize or check the fluctuation in the parallel market?
Well, I think it's just, well, one sec. I think it's just as an importer using Form M to bring in goods, they want to make sure that they benchmark the cost of that particular item. It's used as a benchmark, I think. That's what the price verification system is supposed to be for. But Fisayo, what do you think? They want to make sure that if you're importing, I don't know, a car into Lagos and whatever that brand is, it's a similar price elsewhere or something. But what do you think?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's the question I wanted to ask. Like, what price are you verifying? The price of the good, or the price of the FX, right?
It's the goods. It's the goods. It's the item.
Yes. So it makes sense what they're trying to do, because people can inflate their prices so that they can access more foreign exchange. Again, trying to stem it's still demand management, as it were, because foreign investors are not coming as expected after deregulation, right? Again, so and of course inflation is not stemming. So they're still trying to manage the demand for FX, as it were. So if you ever say that this price is fair, as it were, but again, eventually, right? And CBN is trying to manage the dollars, but well, that's true. Well, CBN is just trying to manage dollars. That's what it's trying to do, so that no one is going to come and say a car of $2,000, he bought his own for $70,000. So that's essentially what CBN is trying to do, which to large extent makes sense, because again, CBN is still the sole provider of this FX, as it were. So
so what is the CBN, just an addition to what we should get across to the listener now, is that the CBN in the statement on Thursday said the price verification report from the portal is now mandatory for all Form M requests effective from the end of this month.
That's right. That's correct. Let's jump to power.
So let's get to Transcorp, and Tony Elumelu's acquires 60% stake in Abuja Disco. Is there an end to where Elumelu wants to acquire right now in this sector?
Yeah, I mean, they owed them money. I think this is part of the money they owed, that Disco owed UBA, and so now they are taking over. But more importantly, how can technology improve power in our country?
I mean, what do you mean technology? I mean, the technology is power. I mean,
like
power is technology from
meters, prepaid meters, for
exactly.
Instance.
Those are the places where improvement can be, because I think the biggest problems with power today can be traced to, say, commercial and technical losses, right? And of course, part of the deal when the discos were sold back in the days is that they have to reduce both commercial and technical losses, and I'll explain what that means. Especially, well, maybe technology can do a bit more on the commercial losses part, because what happens is that when power delivers to people's houses, right, it's a collection problem, right? It's a metering problem, and technology can help handle that, right? Rather than having to send people to physically disconnect, and then residents are using dogs, to attack the officials, right? Can you, with a proper technology, you can, to a large extent, disconnect households that are not compliant, or they're not paying for the power that they use, as it were, so that other people that pay for power can have it, as it were. So essentially, reducing technology can be leveraged, in metering, and of course in collection, as it were, and of course, and also not just collection, but also punitive measures to ensure that people that don't have, people that don't comply, can be essentially, remotely punished without necessarily sending people, human beings, to go and be looking for where to cut off the wires.
Exactly. We have to. I know Omas has to get to messages, so we got to do this in a minute, or try and break these three topics. Google is training 5,000 women in Kaduna in tech skills. Money Points is going into retail banking with a new app and a debit card. And then Jumia continues to disappoint with their results. Oh yeah, those three in 30 seconds each.
It's not possible, right? I mean, good luck to Kaduna women, 5,000 of them. So Google skills, say digital marketing, graphic design. I don't know what those skills are. I mean, it's good. So you can start from somewhere and build a life from there. Money Point continues to look for avenues for growth. I mean, I know they are pushing to becoming a unicorn very soon, and that's impressive because what the banks should be doing is what Money Point is doing. What Money Point is driving into, right? And that is particularly impressive. Seeing the impact of a tech startup on the lives of normal human beings. That outside of just say Lagos tech, as it were, where Lagos or Abuja, it's seeing the impact of the business across the entire country. That's particularly impressive. And of course, Jumia, again, the macroeconomic conditions will continue to affect their business, irrespective of how hard they try, right? So if they try to do groceries, groceries are a lot more expensive now. People are looking for cheaper alternatives. The margins are not there. And all of the issues that and of course, people are just not spending as much. So again, it translates to what Jumia would see, unfortunately. So that's what it is. You can't. I remember speaking to someone that works at a rating agency. He was trying to rate GT Bank higher than Nigeria, but like, no, it's not possible. You can't rate a business higher than the macroeconomic condition in which you're operating, and that's where the problem really is.
See why we have Fisayo. See, Fisayo is a professional. He just now look at 7 topics we've done in 15 minutes. Fisayo, you're the man.
Well, that takes us to the messages, and let's see what they're saying. Benito comes in with the message: "Hi, Smooth FM, for this new ministers and especially the tech and innovation space, we need thinking out of the box ideation that will bolster Nigeria to greater heights, like using tech apps and converting it to be able to feed people, major inflow and FDI and LDI into Nigeria." That's coming from Benito. Next, Precious from Ogba says, "Bosun Senior is going to be interesting as someone from the tech community in charge. There is going to be less politics involved as those in the community can cipher what he's doing and when he's not doing it. Really interesting times ahead for tech going forward." That's about all the message we've got. Rotus, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Fisayo. Thanks, Omas. Thanks for all the messages.
All right, so that's where we'll leave it on this edition of Tech Friday edition of Business Express. My name is Omatseye Atsenuwa. Good morning.